Welcome to the first full week of Web Graphics and Multimedia. From the looks of the class website, many of you, the majority of you, were able to post your introductions. It's great to have you in the class and it's great to learn a little bit more about you. I wanted to show you a little bit about the posting interface, just in case you're somebody who likes getting comments on the things that they post. So if you go into the class website and log in, and go to a post that you've created. So I'm logged in and I'm editing one of like so before people click into your article. So that's posting. Now I have, from the majority of you now, your portfolio links and links to your collections. So I'm going to be adding them into the Blackboard shell under the student CITS link. So if you want to see what other people are putting up in their portfolios, though we have nothing there yet, and what people are looking at and adding to their class collections, you can go there and get the links and see what your classmates are doing there. This week, what we're going to be doing is learning a little bit about hosting. So we're going to reserve a domain name if you haven't already reserved a domain name, and I'll set you up with hosting for that domain. So we'll have, at the end of this week, hopefully everybody will have a web hosting service all configured and ready to go and live on the internet. One of the best ways to understand how web hosting works is to host a website yourself. So that's what we're going to be setting up this week. You're going to be reserving a domain name. I'll set you up with the hosting. To reserve a domain name, you just select a domain registrar of your choice. It can be Network Solutions, it can be GoDaddy, it can be Media Temple, it can be any other domain registrar. You can pick one for yourself. I do want to show you, however, that Network Solutions is running special right now, and I'm not affiliated with them. I don't get any cut of this. But if you go to google.com and Google for Network Solutions, which is what I've done up here, you'll see in the search results and the paid results, there is a special running for $4.95 domain names. Click on this link. It's going to take you to this page. Hopefully it'll load faster than mine. And it's going to allow you to reserve a domain name, a .com, or a .net, org, biz, or info for the year for $4.95, which is a really great price. So if you want to search for a domain name that you want to reserve, you can go ahead and type it in the box. So you're typing in your domain, and you can select here .com, which is the most common. You can select also .net, .org, .biz, any of those things. I'd recommend .com. Go ahead and click Find It, and it's going to see if that domain is available. And if it is, it'll tell you, oops, your domain's available. So you can go ahead, and there's a little box here on the left for domain only, and just hit continue, and you can walk through the rest of the process and get a good deal on a domain name. You can only get that price if you access Network Solutions through a Google search. So a little secret I thought I'd share with you guys to save some money. Once you reserve your domain name, what you're going to do is send me that domain name that you've reserved, and I'm going to set you up with hosting on a web server, and I'll send you username, login information, so you can get to your web hosting server and take a look around. So I'll have a little bit of an introduction about that after you start submitting your domain names to me. So that's one of the activities we'll be doing this week. We'll also be taking a look at FTP, and that FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol, and that's one of the ways we can move files from our local computers, the computers that we're working on in front of us, up to web servers. And so I just switched to, let's go to our lesson for this week, lesson 1. If you scroll down on this page, this section on FTP explains a little bit more about FTP, and in the activity, what you'll be doing is using FileZilla, which is free FTP software, to connect to your web server and understand that file structure a little bit more. So once I've sent you information on how to log into your web host, you can complete the FTP exercise. And there's a video tutorial here if you haven't ever FTP'd before, so hopefully that makes it a little bit easier. Once I send you that web hosting information, you'll also be able to log into your control panel, and that will give you some control over your hosting space as well. And we'll be using that web space throughout the semester to host some of the files that we'll be creating, and just to practice moving files from our local computers up to a web server, so we can make files live and available to the general public. Another thing we're going to do this week is install some extensions into our web browser. So if you are not using Firefox or Google Chrome, I suggest that you download either one of those web browsers and try one of these, well, try both of these actually, extensions, the Web Developer Toolbar and ColorZilla. They're both available for Chrome and for Firefox. If you click on the links, I'm in Firefox right now, it'll take you to the add-ons page, and you can click Add to Firefox. Chrome is very similar. And what it does, I've already installed these, so we can just take a look up here. The Web Developer Toolbar installs this toolbar here across the top of my window that you see, and it allows us to see more about web pages than we can normally see. And we'll be using this next week when we're doing our homework, and I'll have a tutorial video about that next week. So this is just to get you set up right now. And then ColorZilla. ColorZilla is really handy because what this extension allows you to do once you've installed it is to grab this little color picker that's up here and select any color on your screen. So I like this orange. I just copy this orange, and it gives you, oops, let's grab that again. It gives you the HTML equivalent for that color. So you can see it's copied a number of different forms for that color: RGB, HSV, and HTML. So that comes in handy too as we're taking a look around the web and talking about color palettes. So we'll be using these extensions later in the semester. So installing them now and testing them out and becoming familiar with them is going to benefit us later in the semester. The last thing that we're going to talk about this week is creating URLs. So we are setting up our web hosting spaces. We're looking at FTP to move files from our local computers up to the web. And once we've done that, we need to be able to direct people to the files that we're loading up to the web. So we need to understand how to create links. So I'll be doing a separate video that walks us through step by step how to understand the file structure of your web server and how to create links to your files once you've loaded them up to your server.